You gonna get in the joint?
I mean,
Hey, welcome to episode 129. We made a podcast. Caesar's adjusting the camera. We live right now, Charlemagne. Episode 129. Make sure you're checking us out. We made a podcast.com. We made a podcast on all social media. We made a podcast on YouTube. You know what I mean? Stream live on the episodes now. Caesar, are you going to be
saying Vici Novi.
Okay, thank you for.
That's what I'm good for.
Yeah, that's it. See you later. Bye. Episode 129. We made a podcast back in the building.
We back.
Make sure you're following We Made It C's on Twitch. Make sure you're following Mufasa's Taquitos with a 0 instead of an O on Twitch. Make sure that you're following the homie Dat DATBOI Surge, not Surge like a surge protector, but SERG, even though I call him Surge, spelled like surge protector, and I also call him Han Sergio.
If his switch name was Surge Protector, it'd be hard.
I'm sure somebody did that already.
No.
Han Sergio's better. But yeah, we made a podcast back in the building. You know, we got some important stuff to talk about. Sadly, we got to talk about racism today. And I got to talk
every week, man.
And I got to expose some quitters, actually. You know, okay, yeah. So anyway, we're gonna talk about racism, Bulgaria, England. Everybody knows. We're gonna talk about some more what I think is racism with Inaki Williams. This is the first time Caesar's hearing the topics today, even though he should have read them. We're gonna talk about Neymar being injured again. We're gonna talk a little bit about Christian Pulisic and what's going on with him. We're going to celebrate Simone Biles, the gymnast, her accomplishments. And maybe if we get to the end and Caesar's not itching to go play Apex, we'll talk a little bit about LeBron James' recent comments about what's going on with China and the NBA.
China man?
This guy Caesar just literally just what does Sergio always say? Your channel had a good run. Yeah, podcast had a good run, huh?
Yeah. So my podcast had a good run just because of me right now. So my bad.
Yeah, it's always you. Anyway.
Wow. Free agent, y'all.
Bulgaria versus England. Obviously, there was a lot going. It was interesting. I was kind of tripping like before they played, and they were like talking about like all the racism that might happen. Is your joint vibrating?
I think you just did it.
Okay, well, let's not have they're talking about all the racism that may happen. It was kind of weird to me. I'm like, well, dang, like, how come they just keep talking about it before the match? Like, just let the match happen. Then the Bulgaria coach or the FA president was like, there's more racism in England than there is here in Bulgaria, which I'm kind of like, yeah, I agree with that, actually. Like, England has more of a racist history than Bulgaria does.
I do remember that Chelsea train thing, so.
Well, just in general, like in
history
of these nations, yeah, like England is one of the perpetrators of international racism. Bulgaria hasn't had much to do with that. But anyway, I mean, basically because Bulgaria is not like a very big, wealthy nation or something like that. They weren't a colonizer. But damn, I just remember something about Bulgaria right now that is so random. Literally nobody listening to this would remember this from 2006.
Just go, man. You already softballed it to us.
Y'all remember in 2006 when they had the actually, you know what? Never mind. Let me stop. Anyway,
oh my God.
Bulgaria versus England. So obviously we know it already happened. Everybody knows England beat Bulgaria 2-0. There was monkey chants. They stopped the match 2 times. There were monkey chants. Apparently, there were some Nazi salutes.
Wow.
The first 5 goals were scored by black players: Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling, and Ross Barkley. Yes, you heard that right. And probably Harry Kane too. Honestly, who knows? No, he can't get one. No, you're not gonna let him in.
I'm not gonna. No,
he got like a little lisp though.
What, man? You can't do that.
No, all right. What if he had a gap too?
He's in.
Okay,
Gap, he's in.
So there's a lot that was surrounding this match and like the outcome of it. Here we made a podcast. Obviously, not already. You're already fidgeting. Obviously, here we made a podcast. We do a lot of media analysis, and like not like criticism of the media. I don't mean it like criticizing them, but like we're media critics. Also, we have to be critics of the sports media, especially when it comes to the football media here in America, which we've obviously said is lacking many times. I mean, we started that. That's the reason why we started this podcast, because the American football media, the American soccer media is really bad. So I took it upon myself to see what the two like mainstream American football outlets, media networks, shows had to say about the situation. Just like we did with the what was the one? Oh, Lukaku against what was that where they were giving them? Oh, Cagliari.
Yeah.
Just like we did with that, which BN didn't mention, but they talked about it a little bit on ESPN FC. It was whack. Just like we did in our amazing, most listened to episode, Transfer Ban. We also talked about what the people at BN and ESPN FC had to say. So I did the same thing with this.
Is there a problem?
Yeah, you wilding out. I did the same thing with this issue too. I went and listened to what they had to say on ESPN FC and what they had to say on BN. I didn't listen to. Okay, so BN right now basically has 2 or 3 shows. Like I think 2 like shows in the week. Magisterial,
with Ray
and Weekend Winners. Mm-hmm. I stopped watching those, but I was wanting to see if George was going to be on Sports Burst, which they do live on Facebook, and then they upload it to their YouTube pretty much every day, well, pretty much every weekday. And he was on there. So I was like, okay, hopefully they talk about it. And they did. And then I also, ESPN FC uploaded about a 3-minute clip. I mean, I don't know if they talked about it anymore, but there was the clip that was like titled, talking about the England Bulgaria thing. It was about a 3-minute clip. I'm going to start with the ESPN FC clip. It was Shaka Hislop and Craig Burley, and honestly, I'm listening to it, and I literally wrote like they're not even saying anything. Like I don't even. Yeah. It was hard to even gather anything.
They're just talking saying words.
Yeah, like the only
thing.
A
lot of them. That's a lot they do though. They can't beat around the bush, and they don't like. They like pretend to do a poignant take on a player. Like he's got to get his head together. I'm like, all right.
Like I listened to it and I was like, well, damn, I have to write down something because I put literally says nothing there. And then,
remember giving her advertising right there.
And but then Shaka said something about UEFA drawing the line in the sand, but I honestly don't know what he was talking about. I don't even know. Like I was.
You mean honestly though? Like
no, literally.
Like I don't. He was saying words, and you're like, I can't decipher this.
I don't even know what's going on here. Like I was like, okay. I mean, in defense, George at least said something.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and read it verbatim. I wrote it down. Hold on, let me not give her no free pub.
Yeah, please no.
I did write it down for anybody.
We're not shocked you write things. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can see the whole. There's a lot there. Caesar can see it there. So let me go into this. October 5th. What?
This was like a note you leave at someone's door, and you found their cat or something.
Okay.
That notes is like a letter. Look at it. There's no spaces.
This guy Caesar got all the bad jokes, huh? But yeah, this is October 15th. This is on Sports Burst on BN's YouTube channel. You can go listen to it yourself. I wrote everything down, huh? So this is what George said, and I'm excited for Caesar to hear this. They're talking about Bulgaria versus England. It was him and Gabby Amato. They were responding to a user comment on the stream. So they I think the person said like, "Oh, it was a shame" or something like that. And George responds. He says, "Would you expect?" Also, you got to look at where it happened. It's Bulgaria. Let's be honest. How many brothers are in Bulgaria? you're not going to overcome racism in a country where everyone is pretty much the same. You need cultural diversity in a country in order to fight racism. If everybody in Bulgaria looks the same, you can't be surprised if there's racist chants in the crowd, just like Italy and Poland and other places. What'd you expect? I think, okay, so like, I think like right there, like Gabby kind of like said something, and he said again, what'd you expect? And he says, big up to England for whooping that ass and beating them down. And then Gabby Amato mentions the Bulgarian, I think he's the captain of the Bulgarian team, last name Popov. I don't know his first name. Maybe Isaac Popov. He went, I'm pretty sure it was during halftime, he went to go tell the fans to stop. He was like telling them to stop with those chants and stuff. And then George says, myself as a black man, I'm suspicious of that. He says, because is it really because he wants to stop racism, or he wants them, meaning the fans, to stop because they're getting beat and they're making England angry? And then he goes on to say, if you want to end racism in football, you need to end racism. You need to end it in society. And basically, like, UEFA can't really do that, and most governments can't do that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say like how I felt when I heard that. I was just like, damn, dog, like for real, you just giving up? Like, you know, like what'd you expect? Like, damn, like you're supposed to. We're talking about Europe, like it's fairly monolithic in all these countries. Like there's no, I mean, not there's just no black people, but like all these countries are mostly non-black by far. And so we're supposed to just expect a racist chants in Norway, Finland, Sweden, Netherlands, England, Scotland, Ireland, Spain, Portugal,
the whole Eastern Europe.
The whole Europe, no, but not Eastern Europe. All the countries. There's not.
I mean, adding to the list you made.
Yeah, like even if it was America, based on that logic, like black people are only 13% or so.
That means there should be monkey
chance. There should be monkey
chance
here too. Yeah. So I was just like, damn, dog. Like it just seems like you're giving up. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Okay, yeah, you just like seem like you're kind of giving up. Like, what'd you expect? Like, I don't think that's the attitude that. I mean, maybe it's just gotten to the point for him where he's just like, there's nothing that can be done about it. Now, I don't agree with that because we have talked, obviously we did Transfer Ban talking about racism in club football, but we did also talk about racism when it comes to international football. I can't remember if we agreed or not, but I said that if you have a situation where a country or the stadium, they're doing racist chants, deduct them points.
Yeah, and we talked about that. I think that there's part of me that kind of feels what George is saying, but at the same time, I don't like what he said because it doesn't help that you're somebody on media and TV and you're basically telling people that this is something that can't be done and nothing can be done about it. So we just like not go there except for what is. That's not really the case. I don't want any part of the world. I know there's parts of the world where extremely racist would probably be hard for me to go to or whatever. It'd be just weird or awkward, but I don't want that to be something we accept in life. I don't want this planet that everybody lives in to have parts where, man, you know, you should expect to never be able to go there and be comfortable. You know what I mean? If for any player, any reason. So I think that the best way is to not look at what the current issue is and approach it as if, oh, it's just, that's the way it is, and just accept it for what it is. I'm the first to want to say that. I've definitely said on the show, man, like, what do you expect? But on the same show, on the same episode, I've definitely tried to come up with the resolve. And I think that a big thing to approach this is everybody seems to have this idea that in order to change this, we need to find a way of keeping the sport and keeping those fans. Me? I'm like, if you don't like it, stop watching. Like, if we were to make these changes with transfer bans and all this with the sport, and those people are like, well, if it's gonna be like this isn't the sport I love anymore, and then buy. See, I don't want your viewership. It doesn't change me. These Bulgarian fans those people aren't making waves for the views. They're not the market they're even trying to appeal to. They're trying to get North America and certain parts of Europe and England to watch. And if that's where they're approaching, if that was going on at a large scale in these countries, then it'd be a different talking point where we'd be like, well, look, they're probably not going to give out TV contracts because majority of Americans are being racist. If that was the situation. But it's not. It's happening in these countries. It's happened in Italy. Italy, even before all this was happening, amongst each other in games, they were having viewership issues as well. Remember we talked about way back in the Milan sell days. They were going to sell Milan, talking about how the games were free at some points and they couldn't get turnout. There was already issues going on. So I think that approaching this in terms of we want the transfer ban or the points to point deduction. That's going to turn those fans away and certain fans away. And to me, that's fine, because if you're into this and you're invested in keeping the sport, but also keeping the sport in terms of it being open for anybody of any background to play anywhere across the country, because that's what makes the sport great. The sport is a world sport. We had that great episode of debate. We talked about, open. Oh, God. It might be because of this. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
I don't think I have enough.
No. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You got the net zero.
What?
No, but look how it changed. Well, no, but I think that, we talked about how I liked, even though I'm not saying promise I'll watch it, but, having the, I don't know, Myanmar versus Italy and all this happening, it becomes a world sport. It becomes open to everybody. So I want that to happen, and I want to find results to be able to allow people to play together and have a good time. And if teams need to get punished for actions that fans are doing, so be it.
For me, I'm just like, when you say, would you expect, it's like, I just feel like you're giving up, and I don't think that needs to be the case. I
think an immediate comment of saying what you expect.
Well, he doubled down on it a lot.
No, I know. I'm saying that I can imagine myself saying, well, what do you expect when you go and do this? But at the same time, I want to come with a result.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say, would you expect, because of Bulgarian people.
No, yeah. And that part too, when you're reading that to me, and like, he's saying that, I'm like, man, like, I'll be keeping real. I think I had that viewpoint of like Europe and Germany at one point, and then I started watching more of the sport, and I was like, hey, man, like, even on the field, I'm seeing some differences. So,
yeah.
And I had, it's like having that perspective is like based on like only seeing like Bulgaria and like Harry Potter. Like, dude, I'm
sure Bulgaria probably has a lot of diversity in ways that he might not know.
Yeah.
Like, you're just saying that they're all the same.
It's an assumption, because someone in Bulgaria, like, and actually, the most annoying part to me was like attacking the player for like calming the fans down.
Yeah,
because I'm like, hey, dog, like, let me keep it real, like because
Bulgaria's going to lose to England anyway.
He made a point saying, as a black man, we see this and we don't trust this.
Well, he's saying he doesn't.
He doesn't trust us. I would venture to say it's kind of hypocritical, because imagine if you're yourself a minority, or you're from a country and you're seeing this action happen, and you're seeing people of your country, but you may be different skin or whatever, doing this, and you're trying to calm them down. It'd be kind of whack to like feel as if you're doing an action that you think is righteous, but people are thinking that like it's suspicious, like your own teammate. Like, he's trying to. I thought that's like noble when players do that. I actually start feeling for the players. I'm like, that sucks, because these guys want to come out there and just show their athleticism, compete, and ball. They don't want to come and like
their own fans are being ridiculous.
They didn't make it to this level by being like, man, I can't wait to get to the top just so I can dog anybody that's like black or of any race. They're like, that's my platform, because they'd be doing something else.
Yeah.
So they want to show their athleticism and beat England. That's his goal. I want to show and maybe get a deal, whatever. And he's trying to tell people because he doesn't want the match to end. He doesn't want this to be remembered.
Match already got stopped.
Yeah. So it's like, come on, man. I just want to get this over at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like, I personally don't see his attack. Yeah, it's kind of whack. I'm like, now you're just like fired up about it, and you're just attacking everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of cynical. And the kind of thing I disagree with too is like, to get racism out of football, you need to get it out of society. I don't think that's the case, because like, you don't like a Utah Jazz basketball game. Like, it ain't filled with monkey chants and like, and like burning crosses.
Not even a Boston game.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, some of the fans say some racist stuff sometimes, but it ain't like it's an epidemic where it's just like filling the stadium like it does in soccer. I don't think that you need to get it out of society. You need to have a way for this UEFA or whatever to combat these things in the stadiums. I think that if the crowd is doing obvious racist chants and Nazi salutes, deduct them the points. Like, be like, you're going to lose 3 points. Now, the Bulgarian fan wants Bulgaria in the Euros. I think they want Bulgaria in the Euros more than they want to be doing monkey chants, because it probably hurts your throat. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of approach?
Your shoulder's gonna get tired from doing a Sig Heil or whatever.
Oh man, yeah, off camera.
Yeah, for sure. But so I think if UEFA is like, look, if this is what's going on in the stadium, we're gonna have monitors there. If this is what's going on, you're gonna get deducted the points.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose 3 points. So it will literally never happen. It'll need to happen one time.
Like I said earlier, if the approach to changing a sport is saying, well, it's embedded in the fabric of them as a society, so what can you do about it? It's like, hey man, like that's not how we come to resolve as people. It just, if we're even pulling away from soccer, countries, if countries had that approach, there would just be every single country would just have war with each other. Everybody, there would be no alliances, nobody come together, no change ever made in life. If every single approach was, well, that's kind of how they came up, so that's just how they are, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you have to show people the right way, and I think that one of the ways of showing how to behave is to putting in things that punish the fans' behavior. And like I said
punish
earlier,
the team for the fans.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, if that results in fans turning away, or
I don't think it would though.
No, but I'm saying it might be like, well,
I don't think so.
I am who I am, and if they don't, whatever, this country's wearing my flag, and this is how we're. If they don't like it, I'll walk away. Whatever. If that's happening, or however it's happening, whatever change comes of it, whether more fans, less fans, or change, that's good because you made a difference.
You know what? You know how I know that won't happen is because everybody knows in Russia, in the club matches, it'd be racist. But in the World Cup, you didn't hear nothing.
You hear Pete.
So, like, that's the thing. Like, people, I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, the people are so racist. Like, the whole society is so racist. This is something that happens in these stadiums. But it happens because there's no real consequence. A stadium ban or whatever, the empty stadium, that's whatever. I'm just going to go to the next match. But if you make it so Ukraine or whoever, they can't. The fans are making it so the team is having trouble qualifying for the Euros just because I want to do monkey chant. Trust me, if Popov or whatever the Bulgarian players heard the monkey chants and they know, like, and let's say they're on the brink, like, oh, we need a draw to enter to the Euros.
Yeah.
They're going to run in them stands and be like, if you don't shut up right now, we're trying to get this point because we're trying to qualify.
You know what they probably do? The team probably themselves close off areas.
Exactly. They'll be like,
sorry, them season tickets is canceled because we're trying to win this. We're down 1-0-1 and we're down 2-1 and we have an away goal. Okay,
yeah, something like that.
We have a home game coming up. Y'all can't come because we don't need any risks here, buddy.
Exactly.
You never know.
And the thing is too, like I think there's a misconception when it comes to Europe, but that people have, and we talked about this before. We talked about Spain, like. There was a deep conversation we had that I think was an episode with Nicole, but like, it's not that, like, some people might be just like, oh, they're white. And that's not the case. Like in Spain, there's all these different ethnicities. Italy became a country in 1871. It wasn't like it was a bunch of different families and fiefdoms or whatever.
I think people are quick to forget that. Not because they forget. I think people just don't know because
they're ignorant and they have
especially I think here there's a
inferiority complex.
Yeah, I think people think they know because they watch some movies about the history of like that region. But
they're putting what it is like in America.
You gotta
different.
Yeah, you gotta understand like the way this country was made is different than over there.
Yeah,
and I mean we've talked about that. You talked about how Spain and different countries were formed. Especially when Italy. I mean, I think when my mom went to Italy recently, I asked her, I was like, hey, like, what do you think of like what was like around there? She's like, it's crazy, like. She's like, people of all different like backgrounds and like it's like very diverse there. It's not like you're going to Italy and you're like, oh look, it's just this is an Italian person. It's everybody looks like from the Jersey Shore. Like no, like
damn.
No, I'm saying like,
but no.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's like people are all different backgrounds, and not only that, there's a massive amount of even tourism there. So even when you have tourism in these regions, you see like all kinds of diversity walk around regardless.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're just. I don't think that if you go to Italy and you're black, you're gonna hear monkey noises in the street.
I'm gonna keep it real. Let's keep it real. Like, look, there's actually players there who've lived their entire lives there. You're watching video. I mean, in the same arena, I always talk about how Balotelli was. Well, the chants are going on Juventus in that same arena. The Moises Keane posted pictures. Mom wearing Juventus scarf in the arena. Chanting her son on. I don't think she was pelted by monkey chants on the way over there to cheer for her son. Because she probably wouldn't have went.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's not just some young guy going, hey man, I don't care what happens, I'm gonna turn off my team. It's a mom. He's a mom. She's like, I don't need to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably went there. was like, this is regular and went home. Who knows? Exactly. But I'm just saying,
I'm sure that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I just, there were a lot of people saying a lot of different things about this match. I think Ian Wright was saying like this is like the Malcolm X generation.
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish your point. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just saying like and there was a lot of talk around this match, and I think mostly because it was England. I don't think if it was like Nigeria, they would care that much.
No, absolutely not. That's what sucks. Like it's really kind of at the same time annoying me that it's like all of a sudden. It's like now we're gonna get fired up because it happened. Like Nike does this campaign where they get the 3 black players from from England, and they're wearing the Black History Month T-shirts, and then they go into Bulgaria, and this is happening. It's like that's annoying.
Bulgaria, dude.
I'm like, yo, like I didn't think our beef was gonna come. I was trying to come at Bulgaria. That wasn't even on my radar. But no. I was like, that's really cute because where was this campaign? That campaign should have been happening in the Premier League. In the Premier League, we should have been going this hard when there's literally videos of the subway and the banana peels happening. No, I know, but like there was the Chelsea fan things happening too. I know, but that's what English fans, Chelsea too. So it's like, man, like there's things happening in the only, but it's really cute that now the avenues that happen when it's international match against freaking Bulgaria.
Yeah, like we're gonna attack Bulgaria.
No, like look, man, like there's stuff happening, need to happen everywhere. Look,
I don't think that they would do this if it was.
I'm not gonna do this. Don't do this Malcolm X thing because I've went down this road with the Clippers before. I'm not doing this like
Well, you know it's funny too because Tammy Abraham was saying they're gonna walk off the pitch.
Don't tell me that, Tammy. Don't tell me that.
He said that twice. He's like, we're gonna walk off the pitch.
Don't say that, Tammy.
And I was
don't
like,
say that, dude.
When I read that, I was like, there ain't no damn way them players are walking off that pitch.
No, they're not.
And they sure enough didn't.
They said they got water and they waited.
Yeah, the ref stopped the match a couple of times, but it's like y'all aren't walking off the pitch. And then I guess Jordan Henderson said something like, "Oh, we kind of all said that we're gonna make those fans suffer by like beating."
Yeah. Okay,
I don't think
that sounds like Chris Paul. That's cool. Like, oh yeah, they want us to like do this. Like, no, that's once again we talked about it many times. Don't label people or teams as part of some kind of freedom fighting if they're not going to be about it. Because freedom fighting is not about statistics. Freedom fighting is not about winning some freaking qualifier. Freedom fighting is about fighting for people's freedom, standing up for something you believe in, and that goes far beyond some crap that has to do when you're willing to take money hit and all that. That's what it's about. Like you're standing up for something you believe in,
doing something bold.
Yeah, when people go and they don't go to work and they stand in front of a place to protest something, they strike. They're not doing it because like, oh, I'm still getting PTO. No, they're taking a hit money wise to stand in something believe in for a right they want. They want some kind of rights. So I don't want to see that stuff. I don't want to see a player standing because even if I'm gonna keep it real, when Prince Boateng walked off the pitch in that random game that Milan played, it wasn't in a Serie A match. It wasn't against Cagliari. It was some preseason match when they were in butthole nowhere, and the camera was mad janky, and I don't know where they were. And I was like, they were like literally playing at like La Mirada Stadium. There was like a cement everywhere and a couple bleachers. Yeah. So yeah, in that situation, I'm walking too. Probably I'm like, this is literally whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a long bus ride. I'd rather just get back and take a shower. But like the Milan you're not doing that versus Juventus. You didn't do it. I'm not saying you're not doing it, but you didn't do it. So don't say on these things where you're European qualifier where you're Tammy Abraham. You're not like the guy. Like you don't like you're not like the guy like the star of the team. Yeah, like it's not like Raheem Sterling saying like, yo, if they do this, I'm leaving right now.
Yeah.
Well, then I'd be like, whoa, like that's a huge part. That's a face of England.
Yeah, but also because let's be honest, what happened after this match, what happened with this match is the same thing that happens every single time. The players come out and say some stuff, some people say some stuff in the media, and nothing changes.
No.
I guess some UEFA president dude or something said he wants to fight a war against racism. I don't know how you do that unless you make it so there's a real consequence for the team if the fans in the stadium are being ridiculously racist.
Go ahead, sir.
I can't see any other way for that other than deducting points.
No.
Because you want your team to qualify for Euros. Mm-hmm. If we get in here and we're playing against Bulgaria or whoever's playing France, it's all these black players. You got you're ripe for some monkey chance today. but if you do that, then your team will lose points.
Yeah,
you're not gonna do it.
No, you're not. You're like
straight
thinking,
up
like,
and down.
Especially if like think about it, if like for example, I think a good example is a couple of years ago, the 14 World Cup. It was the fringe game. It was the last two teams in Europe to make it. It was Sweden versus Portugal. And it was Zlatan versus Ronaldo. Do you think some random super
Swedish or Portuguese
guy was like, this is my day to shine. I'm gonna go make fun of Zlatan's background, or I'm gonna go and call Ronaldo this some kind of monkey channel Ronaldo African. And William Carvalho. Do you think that you know what he thought? I'm gonna bite my nails, and I'm gonna pray our team gets through this because this is it right here. Or we gotta wait 8 years like America did.
Exactly. There's no way that team would, because no fan would jeopardize their team in that situation.
Even if that guy was next to me, I'd be like, shut the hell up. I don't want to lose in because you're doing this, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I want them to leave the result, not us to determine.
And that's the thing too. Like the football fans are so passionate and they care so much. They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't stand for it.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. They would not let. None of them. Whatever they would do in a match that doesn't matter. If it mattered and if it was like, oh, this is important, we're not going to do anything to sabotage it.
Because even at the core of your pride of your flag and your country, this is involving that. So if your team is not able to enter those things, you can't express your pride and passion in the biggest tournament for your country. It's even, I mean, to these guys, they don't care about the World Cup. They don't care about the Olympics. They care about the World Cup and the European championship. So that's what matters to them. Yeah.
Even if it was in the exact same thing with transfer bans in club football, if you know that you're on a team, I mean, if you're a fan of a team, and if your racism is going to make it so your team can't do business, you're not going to do that. No, and if let's say like whatever team, like a mid-tier team, Villarreal or something like that. If they were the one, because obviously Villarreal was the team that threw the banana at Dani Alves, they're a mid-tier team. You know that doing business in the offseason is super important. The team knows that. Now, let's say there's some fans that's being ridiculous. The team is going to make sure those people are not there because they know they need to do business in the offseason. If those section of fans or ultras, whatever, don't understand that, the team is going to do everything in their power to make sure they're not there. Even if, obviously, we know in Italy, those ultra groups are powerful. Yeah. The team will use its resources and whatever it's got to do and go to war with them ultras if they can't stop doing racist chants and they know they need to do business in the summer.
Because you got to think people would say some kind of argument like, well, you know, some of these ultras have some, like, they do supporter groups. The supporter groups pay for part of the team and all that. But
they're not
this is what I say. This is, first of all, those supporter groups are not minority stakeholders. They're not majority stakeholders. Yeah. That's cute that this team might have the supporters group has money tied to the club. Mm-hmm. But what do you think when a Chinese organization buys a team for? You think they're buying a massive amount of the team. They own way more. Like I'm saying, like there's ownership groups that own this team at a much more bigger money scale. They want to see the club succeed. They're investing money so the club can make money. So they're going to be putting money and power behind to make sure those little people don't come in and influence this. Yeah. Like it may be cute that your supporters group has money tied to it, but these other people have much more money and things involved. And if some of these clubs are more than just that, they're like real estate and land, and if so much going on.
If you're a real ultra and a real fan, then you want the team to succeed.
Yeah, if you're really about your club, you want them to succeed.
So it's on UEFA to make there be real consequences. Look. I haven't heard nobody, ESPN, BN, Sky, I haven't heard none of these people say something that makes it so like, oh, yeah, that would work. I haven't heard nobody say that.
I just don't want to see quotes. I don't want to see quotes. I don't want to see.
Yeah, that's cute, but like it's.
I got the war on this. Okay, dude. How about you just start the war and stop talking about starting the war?
Make it something that you
get it cracking. Just go out there and get it cracking. UEFA don't talk about it. Just go out there and just get it cracking. Even if you don't do what we said. If you do something,
that's the only thing that's going to work.
Yeah, you doing something. It's something.
But my thing is like, it's not like we're some brilliant dudes or some geniuses.
We didn't come up with the wheel.
We ain't even out there.
We didn't come up with the wheel.
How come we could come up with something that's like would actually work, and they can't do it?
It was like straight off the dome too. So get out of here.
Like you can't think of something that's like, because I don't care what nobody say. A transfer ban's going to work, and everybody who's bold enough to like respond on Twitter whenever it comes. They'd be like, "Oh, that would work." Except for Marcotti, who's like, "Oh, they got rules in place," but he's trying to cape for Italy. That's
he's weird. So I mean, the thing is. I mean, we talked about even when Sterling came up with the dropping points proposition.
But that was like in the league, and it was weird.
It was weird.
He was talking about like 9 points.
It was weird. But look, I was like, look at.
But at least he said something.
I will forever respect him for being a player who didn't come out and keep saying this is an issue, but came out as a player who came out and said, I have an alternative. I have an idea. I have an idea, and I'll put it out here. And the great thing about when you put an idea out there on the internet. Not only, yes, people can criticize, but people can adjust.
Yeah, they
can fine tune. They can say that's a good idea, but there's a lot of minds at work to try to see how it can make it work. And we talk about maybe if we just drop some points on these teams, like maybe count them a whole win, they'll be like they'll lose 3 points instead of getting. They'll say, oh yeah, the match ended 2-1, but because these chants that happen, they're actually dropping points there. Unfortunately, hopefully it doesn't happen again because if this happens, they're going to keep dropping points and getting relegated. That's gangster.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking. That's the kind of narrative you want to see when you say, "Oh man, like they had a great team to win it all year," but those ultras, unless they do something about it, they're gonna keep getting relegated. They're gonna lose all those great players.
And that's the thing. Like, at least it's some kind of a real solution.
It's not. Just,
I haven't heard.
He didn't say, "I'll have a war on this."
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
He didn't just say, "Oh,
I'm gonna leave."
Or
I'm gonna leave.
Or
what do you expect?
Yeah, what do you expect? Like, yo, dog. Like, my thing is this. Ultimately, it's like, do you care or not? Because sometimes I think these people don't actually care. It's just something to talk about in the media and to get clicks.
If you have two countries that are having real, serious, deep-rooted political issues, and it's extending to points of war or conflict, and then you have a soccer match and violence occurs, then you have every right to say, whether you're a fan, player, or coach, or a pundit, you can say, man, what do you expect? You had that match. You should have did that. But when you're talking about
if it's like Albania versus Kosovo, like
something's gonna happen. If you're gonna if you have whatever, even Palestine, Israel, whatever, what do you expect, dude?
Yeah.
Like, come on, why'd you do this?
Yeah.
But if you're talking about racism, the approach of saying is, what do you expect? You can't say that about Bulgaria.
No.
You can't say that about a lot of countries because even here, I'm here in California. I don't know. I can't know.
America's more racist than all them places. Please believe me.
I would rather him say that about here than over there.
Right?
If he said that about the LAFC, LA Galaxy, I'm like, what do you expect? That's even more approachable than saying that England versus Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Dude, like.
The reason why the Bulgarian fans do that, because I can't say for sure, but this is what I think. I don't necessarily think that they're all some rabid racists. I think it's something that they think can rattle the players, and there's not going to be much of a consequence for it.
And they're thinking, man, what do we got to lose?
Yeah, exactly.
We're getting stomped out. Yeah. Why not let's just drink a bunch more and just wild the hell out.
But if it was a situation, now obviously I don't know like Bulgaria's place in the competition, whatever. But if it's a situation where they're on the brink and this can make it so you lose 3 points or 2 points, they're not going to do that. They're gonna swallow their racism just like they do in a lot of places. You think that a lot of them England fans and owners and stuff ain't racist? Of course they are. Or here in America, the football owners and the basketball owners, yeah, of course they are. They just don't get exposed, and some of their fans.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you expect? Honestly, like you're in a position where you're on a mainstream network. Like you have a platform that like we don't have, we should have, but we don't. And you have an opportunity to say something significant and just kind of like being cynical about it and just being like, well, that's just how it is. Like
you're talking like you're in the backyard hanging out with your friends and you're annoyed when it should be, I have a voice and I have people that are listening to me. When we're all in the backyard talking or making jokes at home or just saying things,
you can say whatever crazy.
You can say whatever you want, because what you're saying is not necessarily influencing the masses.
Yeah,
it's not something that who knows. I talked about a show when I was 10 years old. I was listening to sports talk radio, and I was taking very seriously what those guys were saying. I'm like, oh, like maybe he's right. Like I there could be a young kid who's listening and saying, man, like Is that true about Bulgaria? Like, I guess so. Like,
or just being like, well, I guess that's just how it is.
I guess it's how it is in the world. So I shouldn't even do this sport because why would I want to do that? You don't want to have that. You want to be able to, if you're going to have something that's controversial, say to your best educated.
And you're at BN. It's a huge international network. Maybe you could have some idea and y'all can approach it.
And not a YouTube back channel. You're like on BN, man.
And you can use those levers of power to bring it to UEFA.
You say it on BN, and then next thing you know, someone else can pick it up and be like, this was said on BN. What do you think about this idea?
Yeah.
Like, you never know. And if you say a good idea, maybe someone else from another show, one of your other shows
or maybe somebody at UEFA, because you're a big international network, and maybe somebody be like, oh, you know what, that's a good idea. Never thought about that.
You have reporters or press passes that go to those UEFA conferences and they tune in, and they have the mic. So
and there's been crazier stuff that's happened when it comes to sports. I would have never thought that they would have instant replay in NFL. It's different things.
That's true.
Like certain things, like it's crazy, but it can happen. You know what I mean?
And I have a. Can you put a star at the very end? Maybe if we have time, I might add something we can talk about.
What is it?
But I'll wait till we're done with all this.
Well, tell me what it is so I can put it.
It's there was a case today.
Don't be talking to me about UFC, dog.
Okay, let's give it.
Okay, here you go.
It's a female fighter thing, though.
Okay, well,
She went to court and argued today that does she believe that referees? She argued that the referee treated her differently because she's female. She started to fight because he didn't want to see her like getting hurt anymore. He stopped it sooner.
Well, maybe
I thought what we thought about that.
Maybe you can do a YouTube joint and you can do that.
I could do that.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of racism, Caesar's racist against We Made It. Caesar's the second biggest hater of We Made It.
I'm actually not.
You're the second biggest hater. Actually.
You just like to declare everybody to make yourself feel better.
Okay. I have an issue with the Spain national team.
Go ahead, man. Let it out. This has been festering.
You know what sucks? The media is just like everybody's just talking about the same stuff.
Look something up. Sorry, go ahead.
And they're just like, how many caps you got? Because I wrote it down.
No, there's another player too. I want to look
okay. I'm just like, dog. Like, it's just funny to me that I haven't ever really heard. Maybe I have heard somebody and I forgot, but like nobody's really talking about this. I'm like, dog. Like, Inaki Williams cannot get a call up for these European qualifiers, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I looked today at the starting lineup for Spain. Like, their forwards was Gerard Moreno and some dude named Oyarzabal or something like that.
Oyarzabal from
Real Sociedad.
Yeah. You know what's really whack about that? I mean, it's like any other – in a lot of other countries, they literally would call up players because of just the informed play.
Yes!
Even if you didn't – which is mind-boggling to me, you don't call up Inaki Williams. Mind-blowing. They could have even called up Adama Traore, who's like in form right now. He has like 2 goals in 3 matches and like an assist. He's like doing really good in Premier League right now. That's another player plays for Spain national team. You can do this. Why? It doesn't hurt you because even if you did that, I wouldn't go, what in the hell? Because I go, what in the hell to these randos you already go. I'm like Spain national team, as much as for years I disliked them because they were so good. And they had the ugliest jersey combo colors of all time. Like it was like yellow, red, and blue. I'm like, what are you doing? They're out there, and they've always fielded these sensational looking teams. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this lineup right now. Look off the bench. Oh my god. Now it's obviously transition phase, but doesn't mean you don't have talent. There's so many good Spanish players out there, and of all backgrounds, ethnicities too. Like, what are we doing out here?
Williams can play anywhere in a front 3 or 2.
He can literally be the middle for you or the left or right. He literally doesn't care.
Yeah, literally, he can do all of that well. This dude played in the last 3 seasons, played in every single league match.
That's crazy.
You never see 38. Like, you never see it on Wikipedia. You never see 38.
That's crazy good.
You never see somebody with 38 ever. He's just 36.
He probably hasn't eaten sugar in like 4 years.
36, 35. Literally, the last 3 years, 38.
He's in sensational shape. I'm like,
balling. And I mean, he's, to my knowledge, he's only scored 1 goal this season so far. But I'm like, dude, like, you watch him play, he's like amazing. I think I watched them play. I can't remember if it was Barcelona or Real Madrid. It was one of them, maybe the first game of the season.
I don't even want to hear it because they were calling up Fernando Torres. I'm like, dog, he was. They called him
50 years old.
They called him one time. He was like an 11-goal scoring drought. I'm like, what are we doing here? I mean, 11-game scoring drought.
So today, who started was Oyarzabal and Gerard Moreno.
That's disgusting.
And then on the bench was Rodrigo and Sarabia. That's the forwards. I'm like, dog, you mean to tell me like Inaki Williams can get a goal? He's 25 years old. He had 13 goals last season in the league. Like come on, dude. Like that is a real scandal that Inaki Williams can't get a call up. Now, what are we supposed to think? The reason is he's not getting called up. Like, what are we supposed to think? Because he's a baller.
I mean, we've done it before too, Italy, and it's like at a certain point you're like, what's your intention here?
Yeah, at least Balotelli was getting called up though.
Yeah,
and then it got one cap.
Yeah, one. And you were shocked by the one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, damn, you cap tied him now, even though I guess now you can't switch.
No, he's not cap tied. He's cap tied at 4.
Well, I'm saying, I know, like you can, they changed the rules. So
yeah, it's like 5 minutes because I mean, the Diego Costa had 2 appearances in Brazil. It's supposed to be 5 max or something like that.
Yeah, you can kind of do that.
Yeah,
but I appreciate him not. Maybe they did say that Ghana has reached out to him before. Nah, dude, force Spain's hand, force their hand because I'm like. It's really funny and just ridiculous that like nobody in the media, I don't say nobody because I don't like to do that. I haven't heard anybody talk about the scandal that Inaki Williams is not getting called up consistently. Consistently not getting called up.
At what point do you just force the hand now?
Well, he's not switching to Ghana and whatever. I mean, obviously I don't know.
Let me keep it real.
I want him to coon out, as you would say.
I know you do, and I do too.
Thank you. Yeah, right.
I want them to look around, like everybody's injured.
Well, no, I want them to be like, you know what, like we got to stop doing this bullshit.
Literally burping that was terrible, but it didn't come out though, because I'm very house trained. No, it's. I want it to be like undeniable, like at the point.
It is undeniable.
Well, I mean, okay. Let me keep it
over the ball.
Okay, yes. Let me keep it real. It's not.
It's Sarabia.
It's not undeniable.
No, it's undeniable, dog. I'm sorry, it's undeniable.
For me, it's undeniable. It's unacceptable if we're talking about a comparison to Sanabria.
Gerard Moreno.
Yes, but he does. No. He's playing great. And
who?
Inaki Williams,
yes,
but I mean, he does. I'm not giving them a reason. I'm just saying, like, let's not say it's it's unbelievable with like 1 goal. That's like not insane. I mean, I'm saying that like if he was. I want it to be so ridiculous where it's like, oh man, he's like leading the league or whatever, where he's like top 5, and they're still not calling. Be like, come on, yo, like, because last year 13 is really good. That's a really good season.
Oh, he had a good season last season.
So it is ridiculous at this point. And it sucks because it's such a forgotten thing. Like even with the Balotelli things, and he said yes, he got called up before, but it would be an issue. Then it'd be forgotten about because these call-ups happen once a month, and they just move on after.
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
and it sucks because he deserves the opportunity.
Balotelli got his shot, and it's like, dog. Inaki Williams needs a shot, dude. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
He played in the under-21s or whatever. Like, that's cute. But, like, come on, dog.
A lot of them did. Who cares?
Yeah.
Adama Traore did, too. All those guys did.
When you have a situation where it's a player who's a forward who appeared in 38 matches for 3 years running, like, that dude deserves a call-up.
Yeah, Phil James said he was better than Ronaldo.
Yeah, he said that 3 years ago.
So, I mean, he should have got called up in that year when he was super hot.
Exactly.
He was killing that year, too. No, he's really good.
I mean, he doesn't put up, like, the crazy amount of goals, but it's not like Athletic Bilbao is even that good.
Yo, I mean, Bilbao's never been, like, the highest-scoring team all the time either.
Exactly. So, and even with that, it's like, dog, like, you're playing on a team like that where you have limited players and
he's
doing his thing.
And it's like you're calling up guys from, like, Eibar and Real Sociedad. So it's like, don't tell me that,
I'm gonna let that slide.
Don't let Real Sociedad. So don't let it be you telling me like, he needs to go Sociedade. Então você não sabe, né? No, if it's not like he needs a bigger team because you got guys coming from some very low to mid teams in Spain too. Like I know Sociedad's having a good year and everything, but it's not even that serious. And he's not, and it's not like it's just not that. It's not that.
It's not that. It's because he's black. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what it is.
I mean, what else am I supposed to think, yo?
I really want him to go play for Ghana, but I mean,
I don't want him to do that.
But I want him. I think it's better for him to do this. Like, go for this, man. Like, go for it.
I mean, I was so annoyed when Kundobia wasn't getting called up for France. But even with that, it's like, okay, like.
I mean, he's not 21 anymore. She's like, I mean, what? I don't got all day.
Yeah, I'm saying Inaki was 25, but like with Kondogbia, it's like okay, like even though I thought he deserved that World Cup call up and whatever, like you can see it's France is difficult, but with Inaki Williams, like he's the best forward that Spain has. Yeah. It's literally between him and Rodrigo, honestly. Like who else? I mean, and I think Inaki Williams is better than Rodrigo. Rodrigo's good, but I think Inaki Williams is better too. Yeah, and I think most people would say that.
Rodrigo and him is kind of both situations, but I'm kind of mad at Rodrigo getting the call-ups.
I mean, yeah, at least Rodrigo sold out and could have been playing for Brazil, you know what I mean? Which is still kind of, you know what I mean? But like to go to Ghana.
He wouldn't have got called up, man.
He could have got called up a few times, though. Remember when they was playing that one forward dude from China? I forgot his name.
Hey, man, first of all, that was such a long
No, that was not. That was during qualifiers. That was during qualifiers, relax.
The forward man from China?
Or before qualifiers or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They got the braces?
Okay, you don't even know. You don't know Brazil like that.
Okay, then drop his name.
I forgot it.
So how do you know Brazil like that? So what are you talking about?
Well, he's number 9.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, I know you're talking about. He wasn't a striker though.
No, there was some number 9 playing that was from China. Who played in China?
Yeah, he had braces.
Okay, I don't be looking at dude's mouth like that. But anyway, it's an absolute scandal. It's a shame that it doesn't get talked about more.
Yeah.
And this is some amazing player who just got to just sit and watch. I don't even know who he cheers for, who just got to sit and watch and not get called up. Can you imagine?
No, I mean, I feel like he even cheers for Spain too.
Of course he does. He played for Spain.
Because, I mean, dude, all his homies is probably over there. He's a Spanish person. He's a Spanish guy.
Yeah, he's
Spanish.
Yeah, what else is he? I don't got nothing in common with him.
Who am I? Immigrant here to tell anybody there's something else. And they're over there. Like, I can't be like, oh, he's not Spanish. Come on, dude. He's from there.
Yeah, no, he's hella Spain.
He's born there.
Yeah, born and raised. Like, that's all his sensibilities.
Like, if I was born, you couldn't tell me I'm not American. Dude,
yeah.
I'm freaking born here, man.
All of his sensibilities. Wait, don't be ever telling lies on here about where you was born.
Yeah,
you was born in Guyana or something like that.
Born Island, American Samoa.
Stupid, but yeah, I don't know. I just wish that it would be more of a topic, and it just sucks that like it's another situation that I got to see it and have to be like, well, yeah, it's probably because he's black. Anyway, speaking of another black player, your boy Neymar, Caesar, dog, injured again. They said that he's going to be out for 4 weeks. He might be back for PSG versus Real Madrid on November 26th. He might be back for that. If not, the next Champions League match is.
You better protect that ham against Sergio Ramos.
The next Champions League match after that is versus Galatasaray on December 11th. But yeah, he tweaked that hamstring against Nigeria in the 12th minute, I want to say, and he's out another 4 weeks. Can you guess how many games he's missed for PSG?
Like a number?
Yeah.
36.
Over 40.
Oh, man, dog.
Like out of like
not Inaki numbers.
Yeah, right. Out of about 90.
Damn.
Yeah, what's up with your boy, dude?
I mean, I think there's a lot of people to blame here than just Neymar. I think Neymar is to blame, obviously, for the injury result too. But I think other people to blame too. I think Brazil's schedule is pretty stupid. I think what they're doing is stupid. I don't think that Neymar should be playing. I think they're doing just like Messi did what they did to Qatar, where it's like, oh, they signed a contract for him to play, so he has to come out and come here to play.
Yeah, this guy right now.
What are you talking about? You can't just say it's only him.
Why not?
Because it's a lot of dumb stuff going on. Like Brazil being the only person who's going all the time to Singapore,
Caesar, it's
God knows where for these matches.
Would you rather them not be the biggest global brand of football? Would you rather?
No, I don't want them to be the biggest global brand of football. So you don't. I don't care about that.
Well, you don't care because you're not a real Brazil fan. But I'm gonna imagine.
No, because I don't have money stake on a team.
Okay,
I just want them to freaking win their qualifier matches and then win Copa America and then win a damn World Cup. I don't care about them being a global brand of the sport.
Okay, relax, jeez, Caesar. Part of being able to do that is bringing money into the federation.
Name everybody else in Singapore. Go ahead. Who else was out there?
Senegal.
Nigeria and Senegal and Brazil.
Okay, Caesar, what the hell is wrong with you, first of all? Second of all, bringing money into the federation helps Brazil be able to qualify for the World Cup and for and to win Copa America.
Yeah, sure. It's going money in the federation. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you saying?
I'm saying they could get that money. They could do that in America too.
Okay, Caesar. Yeah, of course they could do it here, but they can do it there too. Maybe Singapore offered more money.
Yeah, well, it's stupid.
What's stupid?
You should come.
I don't want to talk about this. You're screaming for no reason. You're annoying right now. You're screaming and being turned up on purpose for nothing.
Here goes the boss man. Go ahead.
Caesar, you're screaming for nothing and you're being ridiculous on purpose right now.
All right.
Caesar, you know damn well that Brazil got to go make that money.
They do.
Yeah, so you got to go around the world and make that bread. Okay.
So there's going to be risks involved when you do that. Yeah,
but the risk.
So that's why I'm saying it's not all Neymar's fault.
But Neymar
so you have an injury-prone player.
So he's injury-prone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't he do something to not be injury-prone?
Oh, what, magic beads? What do you want him to do?
I don't know.
Now, what do you want him to do?
Maybe train harder.
Did you watch the injury?
Maybe train harder.
Did you watch the injury?
Do you watch him in training?
Huh?
Do you watch him in training?
No, but did you watch the injury?
I saw him get injured, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So maybe
what have you done differently? Levitate?
I don't know.
Reciprocate? Okay. What have you done?
You tip right Neymar hard these days, and that's interesting.
That's literally the cap of the year these days.
You tip riding real hard
okay.
Right now.
I did a whole monologue on how he's dead to me. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, I guess that changed. Maybe Neymar doesn't train hard enough. I see him in training. He be going over them drills kind of lazy. He started turning up when
you're watching the View trainings, though.
Okay.
Which I agree too. I mean, I watched the Real Madrid. Then they have the 1 hour close training and the 1 hour open. 1 hour open, some of them players be mad kicking it.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe he should train harder.
Maybe he should.
Because he's getting injured every goddamn year.
What if his train harder makes him? Is it training harder or training smarter?
Probably both.
Maybe
you said he's dumb.
You
said he's dumb before.
Yeah, he is dumb. So I think he needs to train smarter.
So he's dummy.
I don't think it's necessary that I think that there's maybe lifestyle changes he can make or some kind of like fitness guy he can get or something and maybe he could be an approach. I remember when he came into Barcelona, the big thing we talked about, we're like, well, he just kind of get big, a little stronger, man, especially in his league, a little stronger. Barcelona had some kind of really good workout that he got a little bigger. So I don't know what he's doing at PSG. Maybe PSG started chilling, and this is happening more. That's why he
started chilling.
I said at PSG he started chilling. It's a sentence I said.
Actually, you didn't say that, but okay.
Okay. I'm running back.
And he said maybe PSG's chilling.
Maybe at PSG he started chilling. That's literally what I said.
Don't mumble then. I can understand what you're saying then. Damn.
All right. Down this hill, huh?
Your boy over here missed 40 games out of 90.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Injury prone.
What a loser, son.
Wow.
Okay, see, look at this. You can call him dumb, though. You can question.
I don't know if necessarily someone to get injured time is necessarily call him a fucking loser.
Well, see, you called him dumb months ago.
He's very dumb. Damn. The dude puts WhatsApp videos of his combos.
No, you said he's dumb before that. You said he's dumb way before
I saw that coming. If you asked me months ago what I think he's above that, I'd be like, nah, he probably do something that dumb.
Like, you know what?
I feel like him doing that.
You know what? I feel like Neymar's going to release WhatsApp screenshots.
And I'm able to read them on the air.
No. I think in August, I feel like Neymar's going to release some WhatsApp.
Oh, my God. This is the best day of my life. Probably his worst.
Oh, God. I still can't believe you didn't go to jail for releasing them pictures. But yeah, I don't know. It's really unfortunate. I mean, I feel like PSG is going to be okay. I think Cavani's coming back and Mbappe's coming back.
Yeah.
It would be better to have all three of them, but Draxler's coming back as well.
Draxler's been out for a while, right?
Yeah, he's been out for a minute. They still have Sarabia. They have Di Maria. So
I think everybody comes back out. They start getting a little deep again, which is good for them. They need that, especially with the Champions League push on to come.
Yeah, I mean, I still think PSG has way too many players, and they suck at selling players real bad. But yeah, I mean. Whatever you want to have as many players.
I think it's hard to get equal to higher value on a player when you spend a lot of money to bring somebody in a league that's not seen as more formidable than other leagues. Like if they're not doing crazy numbers, then I think it's hard to even get that same value. And I think with PSG's issues, like they don't know how to get the right amount of value for the players they have.
Well, I don't think they even really necessarily need that because like somebody like Draxler or something like that, like. You know, it's just, what are you doing?
Well, those think they care about that stuff because they think about how much they spent, and then they're like,
"Well, they're spending oil money. Like it's not really like."
But they still care though.
But no, I'm sure they do. They don't want to like lose. They don't want Rabiot's.
You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want free transfers. You don't want, and you don't want to spend 100 and sell for 33.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I don't think they would do that. But you don't want free transfers coming out. That's just you. It makes you look bad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make them look as bad when Rabiot literally cannot touch the pitch at all. Even though for some reason he got the UCL call up over Emre Can, which I think is whack. But
he's like, I see him on the youth team list for him. Like, why?
Who?
Like Rabiot.
Damn.
I'm like, how is this even possible?
Well, because he's not good.
No, I mean like no youth team like Bright Stars or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't even make me get back into that. It's ridiculous. Okay, Caesar. Anyway, actually, make sure you check out WeMadeAPodcast.com at WeMadeAPodcast on all social media. We got no people in the building right now.
Everybody's out watching Mufasa's Taquito stream. That's why
they are. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first time we streamed, we had a bunch of people in here, but
it was fun.
Yeah, Spicy ain't really rocking with you no more, and
I wouldn't either if I was me.
Yeah, well, I guess because it's gamer time right now. We get all the gamers on ours. They're all gamers.
Yeah, the gamer homies show us love, but they're kind of actually getting it in right now. Which I'm not hating. Go ahead.
Because Caesar can't wait to leave and go back and do that too.
Oh, big facts.
Okay, Caesar, really quick. I actually want to talk about this because this is a player you talked about some months back when he transferred to Chelsea. Christian Pulisic.
He a message to Pulisic.
Ouch. Well, that was after America didn't make the World Cup, but he has not been seeing the pitch, and we talked about it briefly.
I brought it up because it was like ESPN FC talked about it a few times too. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I guess he's saying he's admitted the pressure of being a top American player in Europe weighs heavy on him at times. Let me see some of these quotes he had. Chill out, dog. Go ahead and tell them about your streaming. You was playing zombie mode.
Yeah, so
I got to hear about it. So
today's the launch of Shadowfall, which is the Apex Legends.
I like that name.
Why not?
Because it sounds like
you don't like the mode.
No, I think it's cool. Like it seems fun, but it just seems like another game. Like it seems like a different game.
Well, these games like to do that. Apex is a free game, so they like to give it like some kind of like new look edge. I mean, they also did it actually the same day that Fortnite had a big change. Fortnite, I guess, changed their map, and so everybody's kind of like going over there. And I think
too deep.
Well, I think that's why Apex did this because they wanted to get some people to stay with them.
I want to know about how you feel about it.
I like in the building. I like Shadowfall a lot. I think Shadowfall's pretty cool. I don't think Shadowfall is a mode that I would do extensively, or something I want to do more than like probably an hour or two worth. But it's fun. I think it's important to have different modes to keep you interested. Like recently, since the last 2 weeks. They've only had like one mode, 2 modes, which is normal and ranked. So it feels good to do something different.
Okay, so let me just get over to what Pulisic was saying. What are you doing? What? I tried that already. Move.
Okay, I'm gonna write them to the person.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
You're scaring me. You're gonna do something. Caesar, chill. Look, you're embarrassing, dog. Okay, Pulisic said on Players Tribune, it makes you feel really good at the beginning, to be honest. You feel great. You see all these things, people talking about you on social media. Wow, this kid is great. He's scoring goals at 17 or 18 years old for his national team. He's playing for Dortmund in Europe. You feel really great, and then it's more just pressure. You feel like all this stuff is kind of hitting you. That's interesting. That's always been the case. He said, especially as Americans, we haven't had a lot of top international talents throughout our years. Let me just see. He said that he has to prove himself. He said, I don't feel like I'm some Wonder Boy anymore. Wonder Boy is a Tenacious D song, by the way. It's really good. He said, I've been around and I think I've earned that respect at least, and I'm in a new chapter and I'm going to prove myself.
All right.
So you already knew that he wasn't getting much playing time.
I mean, it was, the thing is when you're a player in your situation, and I don't know, I'm not Pulisic, I don't know what it's like to be in his position at all, but I feel like the intelligent move, and I don't know what his camp people tell him around him more. If you are in a situation where you're on a team that's regarded pretty highly in Europe historically,
Chelsea or
BVB,
okay,
and you lose your opportunity towards the end of the year to another player, Do you think to yourself, Sancho, do I need to go to an even bigger club or a better club? Or do you think I need to go to a club to at least close to the same level or in that region of at least some kind of European, be able to at least go in Europe?
So what exactly are you saying? That he shouldn't have gone to a better team?
I don't think he shouldn't have went to Chelsea. I don't think that was a good move for him. I don't think that was a smart move. I think that for him, it would have been better for him to go to a team that maybe like that it still goes, like let's say like Frankfurt or whatever, it still goes to this going to Europe so he can still have those Champions League matches, but just giving him more time and burn because he's not at the age where it's critical for him to be on top scoring 30 goals. He's critical age for him to be out there on the field playing. That's the age.
Or maybe like a lower level English team.
I mean, like I'm saying, like even a team like Frankfurt or whatever, or those teams like just to be out there.
Yeah, like
even like a Wolverhampton or whatever, like those teams like West Ham, whatever it takes. You need to just be out there, homie. You need to be out there getting time.
Chelsea might have been too much for him,
and especially if you're going to England. I mean, digging that jump to like Chelsea. Those aren't just like games at like 24K people. No, that's this popping. It's prime time, and they get it going.
They're quiet, but it's a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's a lot of humans in there. Yeah. You look up like he played a BB, he's seen a big arena before, but it's just a lot going on. And I think that some of his comments when he's talking about it's a lot of pressure. I mean, my dude, you knew this. It's not. This is the first day. I mean, they were talking about on Fox for 3 years about this.
And to be honest with you, like I think he expected like, okay, Hazard's leaving, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to get it cracking.
He did, but actually, he expected with the coach before to stay. He was brought in by Sarri.
Yeah, but So it just seems like Mason Mount has like gotten his place.
Yeah, Mason Mount's been playing good, and Mason Mount came from Derby County with Frank Lampard. So that's, I mean, changes happen, and a lot of times they say, it happens in American sports too.
Yeah, you know Frank Lampard looking at Pulisic and thinking about his MLS days flying JetBlue and getting mad. Like, I can't even talk to this guy in his accent. I gotta remember taking them JetBlue.
He thinks about the time he had to call American Airlines and make a flight change, how much he hated it,
and playing on a baseball field in New York City FC. He played for New York City FC, right?
Who did?
Frank Lampard.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, playing on a damn playing the Yankee Stadium and shit.
Oh god, playing in some backyard.
He probably just can't even stand to hear Pulisic's voice.
He's like, this is the worst time of my life.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting because like I did think that he was going to be fine, and I mean I've seen Mason Mount play. I don't really see much of a difference between him and Mason Mount, but you never know what's going on in training. But maybe do you think it'd be a good idea for him to get loaned out in the winter?
Absolutely. Go somewhere else and then go to mid or lower. Why not, dude? You have to get time. I mean, honestly, we were like anywhere could have been better. I mean, if someone like Daniel James, right, can go to Manchester United and make time for himself to get out there.
He's starting. He's starting. Well, that's Martial's out too.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that other opportunities, other clubs could exist for you. Something else could happen for you. I don't think that you need to stick it out alone. And Chelsea is the last team on this planet to ever be shy about doing a loan. Jesus, they're the loan kings. They loan everybody out. So,
Victor Moses probably still on loan.
Victor Moses probably still loaned out at some random Turkish team we never heard of.
Mohamed Salah probably still on loan.
The other day I googled where Ben Yedder was. So you never know what.
He was playing for Monaco.
Huh?
We said Ben Yedder?
No, different one. Yeah, right. So these players are all over the place. I think it's really important for him to go and just get time on loan. Damn, the homie Kennedy with one N. That's the homie right there, dog. Straight neck tat.
I think he's on
Newcastle. Yeah, he's getting that straight loan life. he got out of 4 minutes and said, "I'm chilling now." I don't even know what you wait for in Kennedy. It's like maybe he's just he's the most like I got 3 goals this year guy of all time.
I think he's a left back, right?
No, man, he's a left winger, dude.
He played left back for
Chelsea. He had to get the time in, sir. Yeah, he was playing. I remember when he got signed.
You said he was good before, by the way.
He's not. I don't think he's a bad player. But the funniest thing ever, the Brazil saw when
RIP
forever, the young Packy homie. When they signed him, when Kennedy was signed, literally he wrote on the post, he's like, to Chelsea, he was like, I didn't see this coming. I don't know why this happened, but all right. He's like Chelsea got some seen something I didn't see. I was like, they probably owed somebody some money. They owed something.
That was when Mourinho was still there.
That was almost backwards. What? All right, sure. He didn't do anything in Brazil, but sure, go ahead.
Don't let him go to.
But I mean, who might hate? I mean, they took Falcao off of Victoria like one appearance in his life. So I mean, you never know.
Don't let him go to Dallas, Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy's. Oh, I get it. But he should definitely go to MLS. That'd be dope.
Yeah, but. All right, well, you were the joke, but
I know. I thought the joke was lame, but
okay. Well, Caesar, really quick. Let's go ahead and wrap this episode up. I don't know how long we talked. What?
No,
I don't know how long we talked about.
I didn't even say anything, man.
Caesar, who are you talking to, homie?
I mean, we're gonna run the fade on camera right now. Shout out to you.
Really good,
world star.
But you know that we talk about a bunch of different sports on this show, and we have talked about gymnastics. Please don't forget that we made a podcast, did a review of the Larry Nassar documentary. Damn, I wish I could remember the name. It's a shame. But we included it in our Champions League final recap. We also did a review of the documentary that had to do with Larry Nassar. He was the evil U.S. gymnastics doctor who was doing a lot of years in jail now. He was violating those young women and girls. So we did a whole thing about that, and it was a really great documentary. I think it was on HBO or Showtime. I can't remember. But if anybody was to see it, I mean, it'd be very powerful. I told Caesar not to watch it. It's too emotional for Caesar.
Yeah,
he has feelings. So one of the people that I think she was featured in the documentary, but either way, she has come out and talked about the situation is Simone Biles. She had a really powerful statement. She's talking to the media one time a few months ago, and she was crying, saying like, how are we supposed to go out and compete for this for like USA gymnastics, and they didn't protect us. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but she recently made history. I was reading an article saying that she's basically the greatest gymnast of our time and maybe in world history.
Wow, that's dope.
At the World Championships, she got her 24th and 25th world medals. They were both gold. She's only 22 years old.
That's bananas.
I was tripping. I was like, damn, I thought she was like 27 or something.
Me too. I thought she was too. That's crazy.
She took home 5 of the 6 golds that she could win in Germany at the World Championships. I watched some of her competition, balling. I mean, it's always very impressive to watch gymnasts on the balance beam. I'm just like, oh my God, like every time you think they're going to fall and they just don't. I'm like, what kind of feet you got?
Yeah, especially when they're doing like the cartwheel and the backflips. I'm like, how do you do that?
Seriously. It was really dope. I just wanted to mention her achievement because she's a young Black woman doing the damn thing. Had to get through many obstacles. She has she surpassed this person, Vitaly Sherbo.
Who?
His record. He won 23 medals.
That's a dude? Okay.
And she has 25 now. So there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, this was kind of cute when she said at the a quote about it all. She said since she has 25, she's like, oh, it's older than my age, so I'm pretty thrilled with it. I thought that was cute. She's like, got more medals than years. You can imagine how much work she has to put in. And if, obviously this is a soccer show for the most part, but had to recognize her since we talked about the racism with Inaki Williams and George giving up.
Shout out Simone, same name as my mom. Go ahead.
Yes, and the donut shop down the street from your house.
Yes, sir. Simone's Donuts.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
All right, Caesar. Do you want to talk about LeBron's comment? I don't know if you kept. I don't know if you.
I did see. To I saw LeBron's. I watched it twice because I want to see what everybody's so angry about.
Okay. Look at Caesar.
What did you think? Honestly, hey man, that's really loud on the camera.
Oh wow! Look at Caesar caring about audio.
I was just,
Well, I don't know if you saw. I was when I tweeted about it on my regular joint. Yusuf had replied. So I was talking to him about it a little bit on Twitter.
But go ahead for the people.
No, actually, let me see if he actually responded. I just didn't think his comment was that crazy. I was just like, yo. Like,
everybody. Really... people who I like were like blowing up on him, and I was like, hey man, like I think that if you like just listen to it, he's just like I think that he kind of spoke out of turn, like Maury, like not name dropping, of course. He was like, yeah, just talking about something he doesn't know and whatever. Like I didn't think it was crazy with LeBron. I don't think LeBron said anything that was super inflammatory. I just think that everybody's kind of hypersensitive about this right now. And I think that everybody's like kind of surprised that the NBA is not some political rights league. I don't even know what's really going on. I would expect that. Hey man, all the Clippers did was throw a warm-up jersey on the floor. I don't know what league you thought you were watching. Yeah. So I don't really know what's happening. I don't really know, but I was expecting to watch the LeBron thing and him to be like him to say something crazy.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
And I watched it, I was like, wait, I was like, that's why I was like, I'm gonna watch it again. Maybe I wasn't I was texting, so I was going to hear. I was watching, I'm like, I don't think LeBron's I don't even think LeBron. I don't think LeBron's the most okay. Luke Thomas said that this is a moral layup.
Who's that?
He's just a media guy I listen to who watches. He
listen to these dudes more than we made it.
He talks about the UFC a lot. He was saying that this is the NBA is what you thought it was. And
what did he say about LeBron?
He was saying that LeBron was like whack for this too because LeBron. Yeah, he is, but he's like white Lebanese with that. He said like, oh, he's supposed to be like a moral layup. Like, now, granted, man, I get it. Like, there's human rights things going on, and it's not hard to pick the right side.
Honestly, for sure, that crazy to me.
For sure, I guess. But the thing is I'm like, why do I have some expectation that LeBron knows what's going on in Hong Kong? Why do I have to know that? And why do I need affirmation that LeBron is gonna say something crazy good? Like, when he steps up and talks about his president, yeah, he lives in America. Talks about like the president. He lives in America, and then the president
knows what's going on here.
Yeah, he lives in America. He's an African American, and something's happened to African Americans. He wants to take time out of his day to do that and risk sponsorship. Go ahead, like that's dope about him. That's what I like about him. But I'm not here expecting LeBron to like take sides on like world issues. And if you're expected at LeBron James, what are you really doing? Are you doing this just because you want to make it like damn, I don't sound racist, but like, is it because like where he's at and standing up against black people, you feel like he has to stand up for everybody? I never thought that. I just thought that he stands up for people he understands and sympathizes with and knows.
I think he is standing up for black people by saying that. He's standing for them black players in the NBA.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So I'm just like, it's not crazy, dude. He didn't say anything to risk sponsorship. He didn't say anything that was inflammatory. So why do I care?
People are criticizing him because he's not standing up for the Hong Kong protesters.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, one, the Hong Kong protesters don't need LeBron.
No.
They're out there doing their thing. And
they're not asking LeBron to step up and say something for us.
Yeah. They asked, some of them asked Trump, but like, I mean, but not all of them, obviously. It's a lot of the people out there. But they're turned up and they're doing their thing. Yeah. I'm just like, yo, like, what he said, I just felt like he's trying to clean it up and just trying to get it to be over with. And he's trying to protect the relationship between the NBA and China. The NBA players and China.
And Lakers and China. All that. Yeah,
he's trying to protect the relationship.
Yeah.
Which I can understand that. When I said to Yusuf too, I was just like, look, I think what LeBron said is like he's being pragmatic because he knows, just like everybody could understand, when you're talking about international billions, everybody's selling out to some extent, like including LeBron, and LeBron knows that too. Yeah. And LeBron's
he's a company man too.
And LeBron's probably looking at what is it, David Morey? What's his
David Morey.
He's looking at Morey.
Daryl Morey.
Okay, he's looking at Morey and saying like, dude, like I'm trusting you. Looking at him is like, dog, like you know what it is. You know that like there's on some level we're all selling out in some regard.
Yeah.
Like we're not like we're gonna talk about some things, but like, yo, dude, like there's a lot of stake here. Let's just leave this one alone. Yeah. And everybody on that level is doing that. Maury ain't We Made It podcast. We can talk about whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
You're tied to that corporation, the NBA, whatever it is. Yeah. And you messing up the money.
Yeah, and LeBron James, his comments aren't just like, oh, well, LeBron James is protecting his own money. You got to understand
everybody's money.
Everybody, like
including Maury.
What he could say could affect people's jobs. It could affect many more than just him. I think it's like, look, I always love it when he says something like, like when it's involving things going on in America, blah, blah. But like if he's out there trying to clean up a messy international situation that involves a lot of money and a company, that how am I supposed? That's fine too, because I never approach LeBron James as the guy who's always going to take the freedom fighter life route everywhere. I just say when he steps up and says something that other superstars don't, thank you. That's what's up. And when he doesn't, he just plays with. What more do I expect?
Yeah, and honestly, he's looking out for the interests of the league and the players.
It's not like he was. If he was doing this and then going and doing something else with like a company that's directly involved with actually hurting people of minority backgrounds, that's different. That's not what's going on. This is something that's international affairs going on that America and NBA has a lot of money tied in right now with China and the league. And he's like, look, man, like I also get paid by this
and
league
all these other guys do too, and we don't want to mess that up.
NBA, whenever they talked about they do their world tours, the big one is when all those Nike guys go to China. Mm-hmm. They go crazy when Kobe went over there. They went crazy when Stephon was there. They go crazy over these American basketball. They love basketball there. Yeah. So he knows better than to like affect that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's just trying to play it safe, trying to move on, get past. Because to be honest with you, even with the Maury thing, it wasn't nothing to like blow the doors off. So let's just get this move over. It's not like he was found on tape doing something. Let's just get over with. It was a dumb tweet, and he said he's got caught talking about something he didn't know anything about. Let's go.
And I don't want to say that about Maury. I don't want to say that he doesn't know what he's talking about because I don't know the guy. But what he said messed some stuff up.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we talked about NBA versus China before, like really, I mean, for me looking at it, because obviously I pay attention to everything that's going on in the world. I mean, I would say everything, but a lot of stuff. And I'm just like, the people in Hong Kong have grievances. They're protesting, they're rioting, and they're turned up. That happens all the time, dude.
Around the world.
That happens all the time. They're lucky, like I said, they're lucky that it ain't the American cops. They're lucky that it ain't the Israeli soldiers over there. They go and protest for a year straight, and they still be killing people. They're on their own side, getting sniped and shot in the leg and stuff.
Yep.
I seen the dude throw a Molotov cocktail on the cop. Literally, the dude went on fire. So like they're turned up, and that's how it goes down. It goes down a lot worse in a lot of places, and that's the only kind of issue I have with the situation in Hong Kong. People are looking at China as like, oh, it's so bad. Two things. I don't know if those cops in Hong Kong are from China. They might also be from Hong Kong also. Two, there's a lot of places in the world, including America and American allied nations, that if you go out there and you do some protests and you start being violent, it's going to be a lot worse than it is for those Hong Kong protesters. If you start doing that stuff here, please believe if the cops shoot you for having a cell phone here.
The one video I saw of all them stomping out the cop, I would have said, man, they would have dropped a nuke on the building.
Literally.
That'd have been over for everybody.
In America,
I would have watched the video in America and be like, why are you doing it? You know what's going to happen now.
Literally.
Now you're one less family member, dude.
In America, the cops shoot you for having a cell phone. Okay? They'll mistake a cell phone for a gun. If you show up with a baton and you go in like this trying to go hit a cop and a Molotov cocktail, they're gonna literally mow everybody down.
They're gonna bring the horses and machine guns out.
And at least 65% of the country is gonna support the police. Yeah, at least,
no
and it's
matter
probably gonna be,
what.
And it's gonna be probably 75%. Because if you start being violent with the police, everybody knows what happened.
Then the number one in America is, well, you kind of get what you deserve.
Yeah, like
when you put a hand up, we all know, like, and we all always do.
With a certain type of person go like that against.
No, I'm saying, like, we all know how it is here. Someone watch a video, the altercation officer happens. It's like those people would rather person just get beat senseless without getting touched, and the minute they react, they go, you reacted to getting your ass beat. Yeah. So
why'd you move?
That's why'd you move, but you should have just stood there and just took it like a man. Like, exactly. What? Dude, so, you getting pummeled.
Yeah, so
that's here. Yeah. So there I'm like, it must be nice a little bit.
Well, I'm just like, look,
in that case,
they're turned up and they're protesting their grievances. That happens all the time. I mean, not to say that Daryl Morey, whatever, doesn't have the right to like speak on it for sure, but like somebody could easily be like, well, damn dog, like, did you tweet about this or that or this or that? Like, I'm not that person, but I think with LeBron, he's kind of like, dog, like, hey man, we got some billions tied up here. Yeah. Why don't you tweet about some other stuff? Tweet about the other freedom fighters that's out there trying to get it cracking. But best believe, There's many American allies, including China is American ally. Don't F what you heard. China is an American ally, and America itself. If you do that mess out here, please believe me, it's gonna be a bad day for you.
It'll be rough, man.
Depending on how you look. Now, let me just go ahead and say, there was them Bundy dudes up in Oregon. They was holding weapons and taking the whole land hostage, and everybody left them alone for a little bit. I think a couple of them got shot eventually, but it took a while. But if you were if you looked a certain way and you came out there and started turning up like them, it's gonna be a bad day for you.
Well, you just said that those Bundy comments lost a viewer. Thanks a lot.
Sean's like, what?
No.
They were right. They wanted that land for their cows, which is basically what it was. But yeah, so Caesar, are you gonna talk about the UFC thing? You want to do a YouTube video?
I'll do a YouTube video on that. Actually, it's a pretty interesting point. I didn't see anybody really attack it, and it just happened.
Israel, I said,
Adesanya. I didn't do that.
Human
See, this type of stuff.
They lost another viewer.
Yeah, look at that.
So you're gonna do a YouTube video about that?
I am absolutely, because it just happened today. There was a court case today about this, and I thought it's a really interesting topic. You don't really hear them talk about how now that this sport is probably the biggest sport in America that's including like women, and these women are part of it being on the same days the men are doing their stuff. So a ref is going in and out, and you don't have different refs for different, you have the same refs doing the same, the matter doesn't matter the gender, the refs doing all the matches. So when he does see a female fighter that's kind of disoriented her or being hurt, her lawyer argued, oh well, he bailed me out sooner to give me opportunity to win because I'm a female. So it'd be interesting. I have some ideas about that.
Please don't.
I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about. When I was reading it, I was like, oh, cool. No one's reacting to it because, of course. So I would love to actually do a video and talk about it. That's very
I'll help you do that since you didn't do one about the Israel fight. Because the
Israel fight didn't happen. Israel. Yeah.
What's the name?
I know. I just felt like saying like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we made it second biggest hater. But yeah, we made a podcast.com. We made a podcast on all social media. We made a podcast.com. I'm sorry, we made a podcast on YouTube. We streamed this live. We didn't catch anybody again, but it's all good. We keep doing
it. Sean though.
Literally, next month will be 2.5 years. We've never missed a week ever. The most consistent show in the world, the best football show in the world.
We're putting up Inaki numbers.
Well, that's why we can't get called out.
You know why?
We need to. We a bleach. Maybe we'll
have a bleach.
Maybe we'll be better off. But yeah, we made a podcast. Holler at us.